Before Funding Futures, I was dealing with really low self-esteem. I was quite full of anger internally with things that had happened from when I was younger. I'd done so well with starting to unpack it and dealing with it, but I was kind of at crossroads all the time of I really struggled with the confidence side of it. So I first started when I enrolled on the Empower Her course, which I learned how to do facials, eyebrows, wax and tint, and gel nails. I have took that on by doing guided meditation facials, and I've now become the eyebrow and nail tech at home for the family. It was a 10-week course and it was such a lovely environment. We learned how to do our logos, price lists. You really got a feel for the fact of like you're building this business. You got your uniform, which I'm still rocking. It was just really lovely, and you got a certificate at the end. You got all the support that you needed in with that while you're learning how to do these new qualifications and skills and really building your confidence and your own business in there. And it gives you like an idea, and for the first time kind of going, oh, it is possible for me to do this and earn my own money and take that kind of like leadership role. That was a really, really lovely course. You also have got the beauty bank, the constant reminder of the support to do with food bank, referrals, counselling. So you know whilst you're kind of doing this skill qualification that if there's anything going on at home that you need extra support with, all you have to do is ask. And it's so non-judgmental, it's so matter of fact, it makes you feel like that stigma of asking it's no worry at all, like, and it's lovely. So as I was coming to the end of my second course with Funding Futures, Hayley approached me and said that they'd noticed that I was taking a natural role of caring and helping, and she noticed something in me which I never even noticed in myself, but now I can see, is that I help in a way where I'm not doing it for them, but I encourage them and let them know it's all right, you can do it, which was really nice that someone saw that in me and asked me would I like to become a mentor at Funding Futures, which I was like, absolutely, because I did not want to leave. So I was like, you're stuck with me now. So I became a mentor at Funding Futures, and it's probably one of my favourite things I've ever done. I get the pleasure, the absolute pleasure of being able to continue talking to the ladies after they've completed the course and really checking in, offering referrals, seeing how they're getting on. And I think I'm probably one of the luckiest ones because I really get that after bit where it's like, how we're getting on, and we'll have a chat, and I get to see that, especially if it's come from a course that I've helped with the Connect Her course. There's a part of you that's you're never really ready for it to be the last week. So the fact that it's never actually ever a goodbye, even at the end of the mentoring sessions that we offer, it's never a goodbye. And we make that known, is that even though we're not going to actively keep reaching out now after the sessions have ended, the phone's always there and the door's always open, and you're welcome to all of the support that we've got. And we really we want you to come back. Hayley and Billy came to me with an idea for Connect Her, where they mix together digital skills and mental health. And they asked me, would I be interested to help be an educator on the Connect Her course? When I tell you, the first cohort that we did, I looked at Hayley across the room and I was like, this is it. Like, this is definitely where I'm supposed to be, and this is definitely what I want to do. So then now I'm doing my training to become an educator, and we're working towards that. And I've never been so happy and content in a job in my entire life. I look forward to going to work. if it's work the next day, I'm like, oh, thank God, I get to go. And especially when I get to see the ladies and we're doing a connector course, it's like, I look forward to them days. So it's that, yeah, there's loads of successful stories. I could sit and talk about them all day. I'm going to look back on it one day and reflect and be like, oh my God. And I'm sure there's been times where people have looked at me like that and I didn't realise. So it's just so lovely to be able to silently sometimes witness them moments in people's eyes that there's no going back from after they've just heard that, or there's no going back from the fact that they've just managed to achieve that they never thought they would. And in that moment, they're not even realising yet that they've just took a massive step, and it's only going to be in a bit that they're going to look back and go, oh, I did that. And it's like, and you've witnessed it. So you're just like, I've had conversations with my mum, and we've literally sat there and discussed how much I've come on since working at Funding Futures. Oh, and my nan as well. We've spoke about how life-changing it's been for me since finding Funding Futures to the place that I was to where I am now in such a short space of time. Is you wouldn't have even seen it coming. Do you know, like, if you'd have known me last year, you would never for a second think that I'd be the person I am now. And I think the key thing is confidence. I'd completely lost my confidence, not only in myself, but in the world back then. And now I'm still building and I'm still growing with confidence. But I never say no now, even when I want to. I'm like, give me a second and we'll do it, because I know I can. There's that knowing that I can do it. Even if it just takes me a bit of a wobble before I actually get into it. I would say my biggest motivation now, when things get tough, is I am not going through all of that to just give up now. And I think it's that simple, that when I'm having my low days and I'm spiralling back down, there's a part of me now, because I know that you can grow and I know things can change like that. With Funding Futures, to give me that hope that you just don't know what's coming around the corner. It's not always bad that's coming around that corner. I think there's a part of me that's like, I've been there and I've been to a confidence level and I've been to a level where I can see the future clear, and I've made goals that I've kept and I've done. So there's, on my bad days now, on my less good days, there's a part of me that goes like, I'm not going through all of that to give up now at a point where everything's getting better and easier. And also, since being diagnosed autistic and ADHD, things that I would battle for weeks on end, because now I know and understand it a bit more, and because Funding Futures have been so understanding, like, it's not even a thing, it's, if anything, it's kind of like praise, and it's you're just part of the group. It doesn't matter, like, they embrace everything that's good about you, and there's nothing that's bad about you. We don't focus on that, so they're not even there. It's I've now realised that part of why it was lasting a week is because I was fixating on it and I wasn't understanding it. Now I understand it, and I've got this, I kind of take home this level of acceptance that from the workplace now to home, and I think, right, forget about it, like, it's not the end of the world, it is what it is, and you're going to be fine, and there's all these things that are amazing about you, and you're really good at this, and it's just temporary. And I think that's the biggest motivation, is that genuinely, when people used to go, it's temporary, I think, well, it's not, because it's been going on since I was a kid, this, you know, but it is. It genuinely is. I feel as a whole collective team at Funding Futures, it's such a positive environment that you could sit here and list off things that everybody's done individually, probably without even knowing, that's made it such an enjoyable place to work. And I would say the ones that have definitely stand out and that have impacted me the most in my confidence, and moments where I've looked at them and they've either changed the way I view myself, or they've inspired me, is definitely Hayley, Billy and Louisa. Hayley sat with me and did my nails the first ever time I came onto one of the courses, and we chatted, and I didn't even know she was the boss until the end. She's just, you know, all your ideas of what you think things are going to be, it's the opposite. It's so gets rid of every single worry that you've got. And I feel that Hayley made me feel like she makes you feel like there's no part of you that's wrong. There's no part of you that's wrong. And it's like, you can do this. And she'll tell you each time, if you say, I can't do it, she's like, you can do it. And she'll spend time with you to make sure that you feel that way and you're supported. You're definitely supported. And if I ever had a concern, or if I ever felt like I was having a wobble, or I was overwhelmed or anything like that, I know full well that I could go to Hayley and it wouldn't be seen as a negative. It'd be like, all right, okay, so how do we sort that then, and how do we get you? It's the first time I've ever worked anywhere or been anywhere in an environment where your well-being is genuinely priority, because they understand if your well-being's looked after, everything flows. So that was really nice. And then Billy made me trust in myself more. So for a long time, I felt like I've always had to prove myself or earn things from people. When I first started working at Funding Futures, I remember the feeling of the trust in me as a person, the respect. And it was like, I don't have to feel like I need to earn anything or show up a certain type of way. It was just kind of like, as you have come today is enough. We trust you. We're looking forward to it. And it was just it kind of like, you can't help but then like internalise that and start trusting yourself more, because it's like, well, wait a minute, if they see that in me, then what's stopping me from seeing it in me? And that was definitely one of the moments where I was like, I used to go home and be like, oh, they want me to go and do this, or they want me to be a part of this, but what if I mess it up? But they weren't thinking that. It was only me that was thinking that. They was like, are you coming doing this? And do you want to be a part of this? And how do you feel about this? Which definitely made me start trusting myself, which is probably one of the biggest things I've took with it. And that goes into all of my personality and things now. I trust that in myself, and I don't need to prove myself to anyone, which was a really nice feeling for the first time. And then Louisa is such a kind, gentle person. I feel like when I first started, there's a level of where you just naturally, naturally felt quite like the new person. And Louisa was such a calming, kind soul and energy that I feel like, again, if I was to go in and said to Louisa, you know, I need someone to talk to, Louisa would sit and listen, and she's funny and she's just a really genuine person that you can feel safe with. And I think being able to feel safe is one of the most amazing foundations to any sort of relationship or environment. And with Billy, Hayley and Louisa, I genuinely, in a world where I didn't feel safe, really felt quite safe and secure being myself, having issues and just being, and just being there. If I was to give advice to somebody that's in a similar position as what I was months ago, I would say take all expectations away. Take the pressures of needing to be in a certain place or needing to be able to know that you're going to get to an end goal at the end of something, and start looking at the wins as more manageable and realistic, and really priding yourself in that. So if you're thinking of reaching out and joining to something like this, don't overwhelm yourself with the fact that you feel like you have to go to every single one of them and complete it, that you have to show up a certain way, you have to be at a certain level of confidence, because the truth really is that you've got to start somewhere to get there. So if you can reach out and make that phone call or sign that form in, that's your first win. And that's the next step that you need to do, and that's it. And taking everything at like little stepping stones towards like a bigger goal is so much more manageable than keep looking at the end goal and feeling that you're not there yet. So just probably, if picking up the phone and inquiring about it, or even just filling in the nomination form, is as far as you can go in that moment, that's amazing. When I think about myself and Funding Futures in 5 to 10 years, I see myself, I'm excited to see how confident I'm going to be, because I know that I've got some more to go, and I'm already so proud of where I've got to. So it's getting to the point where it's exciting to see what the next year and the future holds. So I can just see my future being a lot more confident, financially stable with me and my son, feeling very safe and grounded in life, and very present and living and enjoying them. I can just feel the memories that I'm going to be making, which is really exciting. I see Funding Futures as I can see this big building with this buzz of inspiration, safety, care, energy, like women coming in, you know, and there's so much support and wraparound support going on. Us as employees being able to be in and out of that, there's this flow. I genuinely believe that there's going to be such a big community of women and men, of just really caring, inspirational people that are going to support each other. And I'm really excited to see where it's going to go.